Hello friends, welcome to today's video, welcome to the channel, and hope you're all having a great day. So my name's Kat, and today we're going to be talking about some of my recent romantasy reads. So this is a video that I like to do every time I've read about like between 7 and 10 new romantasy books. I like to do this video just to kind of wrap some up and tell you what I think is actually worth your time and what ones you should definitely avoid. So I had one of these up a few weeks ago, and I just had a crazy month in April and, well, 2 months, April and May. I read so many romantasy books. It was actually kind of ridiculous. And yeah, there are so many to talk about. So many books that I read. So we're going to have another one of these like very quickly in succession just because we have so many books to talk about. So I hope you are excited to hear about some romantasy books. I hope you're as big a fan of them as I am, and hope you're ready to dive into this video. So we have about 8 books, not in books, but like categories, series to talk about. I do have 2 series that I read the entire thing, which is kind of incredible for me. I don't do that. I never finish series. So the fact that I finished 2 of them, actually three, very great, very great. So there's going to be a few that I'm just going to talk about this series as a whole instead of the books individually. And yeah, let's start about this. So I think I'll actually talk about the series first. So I read a duology by Karina Halley, and there's Blood Orange and Blood Rose. So the 2 of them, they are vampire romances, and we are following the vampire who is essentially the inspiration for Dracula and his loves. So in the first book, we are following this Dracula guy and a witch who is trained as a vampire hunter and who has been assigned basically to him. So she has been sent to Venice, where he is professor, to like kind of be one of his students, to gain his trust, to infiltrate him, and to use like a relationship with him to learn more about all of the vampires in Venice, because it is a city that is very concentrated in them. There's apparently some weird things going on. There's this plot that might be happening to like bring demons to the world. There's something going on, and we are following them as our main character, the vampire hunter, as she becomes one of his students, becomes very entrenched in his life, and part of her getting close to him is she decides to start a relationship with him. And it is spicy, it is romantic, it is thrilling. Just so many things about this duology as a whole had me in such a chokehold. I like absolutely love the characters, I love the world, I loved the magic, and the first book ended on like the craziest cliffhanger ever, resulting in the second book like truly going in a way that I did not expect in any facet, and a completely different, like wildly different like arc to the story than I was expecting. And it just made it like even more exciting, because while there was the connection to the first book, in some ways it felt like it's an entirely new thing, and it was just incredibly exciting to read. So I loved this. I gave both of them 4 stars. There's several more vampire books that she has, and like within this world, following different characters, like different side characters from this, and you'd better believe that I am going to be reading all of them like as soon as possible, because I truly cannot get over how stunning this series was and how much I really liked it. And off of that, I really decided like that I was in a kick of this author, because I ended up reading right afterwards 3 books in another series that she's written. So I don't know the exact name of the series. I'll put it in if I remember to, but I read the 3 books that have been published to date, which are River of Shadows, Crown of Crimson, and City of Darkness. So in the first book, we are following a young woman who has been told that her father died. So she travels to Finland to go investigate this, to see if she can, not even investigate, just to go to his funeral. And from there, she really quickly gets involved in figuring out all of this life that he had that he never told her about. So it turns out he was a shaman, and he didn't actually die, but he did go to the underworld to try and bargain with the king of hell. I guess he's kind of the king. No, he's the god of death. He goes there to bargain with the god of death to basically give him the knowledge that can save his life, because he has cancer. And when she learns that he has gone to the underworld, she decides to follow him down there and try and basically save his life, try and like bring him back to the upper world, try and find like a way to bargain so that she can like make sure her father lives and that he isn't entirely like forever stuck in the underworld. And what ends up happening is that she makes a bargain with the god of death that she will be his bride, and that is basically like the whole series series is that she is the goddess bride, and she is in the underworld, like falling for him, finding all of these secrets about the gods, finding like all these plots that are going on, getting involved in like basically this war that is going on for the like rule of the underworld. And it is so interesting. I think I definitely enjoyed the Blood Orange duology more than I've enjoyed this one, but they're very quick reads. They're very fun. The smut is fantastic, and again, it has a really good relationship. So this is becoming like, Karina Halle is becoming very quickly a new favorite author to me, and I have so many of her other books like downloaded on Kindle Unlimited right now too. And I'm just so excited to get to all of them because it seemed like she has a very interesting like range of romantasy books, but also like she writes a lot of contemporary, and I'm really curious to get into those to see if there's any that I might enjoy and like what her writing for contemporary is versus romantasy. The next series that I finished is the Bargainer series by Laura Thalassa, and I'm just gonna say I think this is my favorite Laura Thalassa series that I've ever read. It definitely is significantly better than the Horsemen of the Apocalypse series, in my opinion. Like, I think that this really was so much better written. So apparently these were written originally like 10-15 years ago, and she went and rewrote a lot of it to kind of like remove a lot of, I'm not sure if it was just like problematic things or just to improve her writing, but either way, I think that it was very well done, the update, which, to be fair, I don't have anything to compare it against. I don't know what the original series was like, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. So in the first one, we're following a siren on Earth who makes a deal with this mystical bargainer person. He is known within the underground community as, if you call him and make a bargain with him, he will give you whatever you want, but you owe him a favor, and he can basically at any time come in and claim that favor. You don't know what he's going to ask for, you don't know how extreme it will be, but he will help you out of your bind. So our main character is being attacked by her stepfather, and she kills him, and when she does this, she panics and calls in the bargainer. She knew about him through her stepfather's business dealings, and she basically uses him to come clean up the body, get rid of any like police questions, and set her up in a new life. But because of this weird curse that is on sirens, which is never explained, apparently they just have like weird luck, the magic wears off fairly quickly, so she ends up keeps calling the bargainer throughout her life to come in and do other favors for her, like to keep renewing this magic so that there's no interest in her case. And also she ends up kind of just using him as company, so she keeps making bargains with him to come spend a night with her and to hang out with her and all of this. Then one day he disappears for 7 years, and we are following the storyline 7 years later as he comes back into her life, and he is coming in to take back these favors that is owed. So this is one I didn't necessarily love the main relationship that we're following, but I did think that this series was really fun, especially the first book. I was really into the first book. The other two in the series did really veer in a different direction than I originally was anticipating, and didn't really follow exactly what I thought the whole series would be. Like, it definitely went in a very different direction, but the first book I really enjoyed. I gave that one 4 stars and the other two 3. So overall, I like this series. I thought it was fun. It wasn't the best, but I did think that it's been one of my favorite that I've read from Laura Thalassa. So there's that. I read 2 more books in a different series, and these I'm going to talk about separately because they are, each one is like a connected standalone. So I read Wolf Gone Wild and Don't Hex and Drive. These are both like witchy romances. The first book, we are following a romance between a witch and a werewolf. So the werewolf we have, he's been cursed so that he's unable to shift into his wolf form, and basically this wolf form is now in his mind, kind of like talking to him constantly. And the witch that he finds, she is helping him like find a way to break this curse, but also her presence is extremely soothing to him, so he wants to keep her around constantly because she's kind of the thing that like keeps his wolf calm. This book, like, think of Venom. This book is 100% Venom. It is, I mean, like, not really the plot, but the main character is Venom. So we have like this main guy who's an artist, he's just like a chill guy, and then there's the wolf in his voice who's like constantly telling him like, you need to, like, that guy, he looked at our girl, you'd kill him, she's our, like, make her ours, like just constantly trying to push him to violence, push him to like do all of these like baser instincts, I would say. And I thought it was so fun. It was super fun that way. Really liked these Venom vibes. Like, it was just like a really fun time. Really enjoyed this kind of like relationship dynamic they had. Really loved the main character. Liked all of this quite a bit. And the second book, we're following the sister of the first and the main character in the first one. So I think every book in this series is going to be following one of the sisters. I think there's like 6 of them, and we're following her relationship with a vampire, and he is like this famous Bollywood star who's a vampire, but also I forget what the exact word is, but he's this special kind of vampire who can like do these investigations. He can go in and like is able to track people, is able to kind of like figure out all of these things. And in their world, there is this thing going on. There's a bunch of women being kidnapped, and they've identified that it is a vampire who's been doing it, but they are trying to investigate what's happening and trying to put a stop to it. So he is brought in to come into town and investigate, and she is, well, her sister is like the main witch enforcer of their city, and she's kind of brought into the investigation too because of this special magic that she has. But at the beginning of the book, the two of them meet, and he accidentally hits her with his car because he's driving around not paying attention, and it starts off this like really intense enemies to lovers things. Like, not really intense, but he is immediately like 100% in. He's like, this girl, I want her. And she thinks he's just like this rich, arrogant asshole who is driving around in his fancy car, not paying attention to anything. And it's really the book him convincing her that, no, he's not a terrible dude. I thought this one was really fun too. Like, I think this whole series, it just, all of them are giving vibes that they're going to be fun books, and I'm really excited to read the rest of them. I think I think there's like 5 or 6 of them, so really excited for it. And the final book to talk about is Avalon Tower by Cian Crawford. This one, we are following a young woman in this world where, so there was this veil that has come down between the human world and the Fey world, and this veil is randomly, like this barrier, this veil, it's randomly placed in the middle of France. But this is like 20 years after the veils happened. She's in France on a vacation, and she comes across a group of refugees from the Fey realm who are trying to escape, and she's able to recognize that they are definitely Fey, they are definitely like refugees who are trying to get away, and she basically guides them to safety. She just sees that they're in danger and decides to get involved. And through this, well, they meet up with the agents of this like secret Avalon Tower thing. It's identified that she has this really special magic that she's basically able to manipulate the barrier. So this is an incredibly rare magic, but it's also incredibly important for the operatives of this rebellion who are trying to like bring peace within the Fey realm, because it is pretty much the only way that they are able to traverse the barrier and not like, I didn't make all the sentries realize it. So she's brought to Avalon Tower, which is a school for training Fey spies. Basically, they're all like half Fey or partial Fey people who live within the human realm and are being trained how to use their magic so that they can infiltrate the Fey realm and kind of like work on bringing peace. And this was just like a very, very fun, like assassin, not quite assassin, but like magical school type of story. Just her learning to be a spy, her learning her magic, and all of the different things that are happening in this world. I thought this one was super fun. Like, that was my main takeaway, is that this was a very, very fun read. And those are all the books that I have to talk about today. So overall, very good. Like, these are actually a very good selection of all books that I enjoyed pretty much. And I'm so proud of myself, the fact that I actually finished series. Like, who am I? I never do that. It's crazy. But yeah, that's it for today. If you're interested, please subscribe, because I do this every probably like month or 2. And I also do every month a video just reading new fantasy romance releases. So if you're interested, those are coming all the time. And yeah, if you haven't already, please like this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.